Aussie Athlete, ultramarathon runner, health pioneer, fruit lover, lifestyle consultant, motivational speaker, running on fruit to save the world one banana at a time.
And today I'd like to share with you a tip about emotional poise, specifically about fear. Dun dun. Fear. It's an interesting phenomena that we feel within us. Basically, my experience has been that we build it up to be what it is. Fear doesn't have to be scary. I remember being on a ride at a theme park when I was a teenager, and just this ride had this huge pole that just went up to the sky, and you would get in a seat, and it goes all the way up. And then there's a countdown at the top on a TV screen just in front of your face, and it's like 3, 2, 1. And then it drops. And there's this uncomfortable silence where you're just like, it's going to fall, it's going to... And then it goes. So you've already built up all this fear and anxiety because you don't know when it's going to happen. And then when it happens, it's terrifying. And I went all the way down, and I realized that I didn't breathe all the way down. And I was like, wow. I got to the bottom and went, oh. It's like I survived. But what I learned from that was, what I was left curious with about that was, I wonder if you can breathe in and out on the way down. So I did the ride again, and I started breathing in and out before I even got to the TV screen. So I breathed in and out all the way through the countdown. And then I actually did breathe in and out all the way down. And when I got to the bottom, I was like, wait, the ride wasn't scary at that time because I was focused on the breathing, and I didn't have that whole uncomfortable tension of, and it was partly because I'd gone on the ride a second time, but really just by focusing on something, putting your attention on something constructive rather than something that you're scared of, because fear of the unknown makes all the difference in the world. So instead of fear being like some horrible, like scary thing that's like, ah, it doesn't need to be like that. Instead, fear can be, I like to see fear as a great opportunity for growth. If you're feeling that much fear about something, then maybe it's something you can use to your benefit and turn it into something beautiful. Like, it can be about sunshine, because if you're learning from the experience, then it's a really cool thing. So for another example, I was recently in Denmark on a cliff that you jump off into a lake of fresh water, and it's a 7.5 meter drop, so about 25 feet, and that's where your feet are. So I'm quite tall, so it was pretty scary up here, and I hadn't jumped off anything that high before, and I was absolutely terrified. The only way, like my muscles all locked up, and I knew I was going to do it. There was no question I was going to do it, but my muscles were all locked up, and I couldn't take that first step. But I was just experiencing the feelings, and I was like, wow, I'm getting really scared. By the second, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And then I just decided to take a few steps back and then just approach the edge in a way that I couldn't stop myself if I wanted to. And then with that momentum, I had to commit to jumping. And it was terrifying falling, but nothing bad happened. And I did it 6 times. The 5th and 6th times, it wasn't scary at all. So sometimes, I think the lesson I learned from that was that in life, sometimes things scare us. Like telling someone that you love them, forgiving somebody, speaking, just something emotional. We hold back from it all too often, I think, because we're not given the example of, maybe by our parents or by our community of like, what is the gold standard? It's worth communicating things to people. So we hold back, and that holds us back in our life, and affects our relationship with other people that we care about. So sometimes, don't be reckless with ignoring fear. Acknowledge the fear, feel the fear, but don't let it stop you from doing something you really believe with all your heart is the right thing to do. Don't just hide from fear. You can either be growing or protecting yourself in this life, and my choice is always to grow, and I encourage you to do the same. I look forward to giving you more tips on emotional poise. Have a wonderful day.
Stay tuned for the next exciting adventure with Raw Aussie Athlete. Here, Raw Aussie Athlete reveals secrets from the depths of the galaxy. Watch Raw Aussie Athlete on his valiant and chivalrous pursuits, surrendering to the noble values of honesty, openness, and integrity, and to the timeless traits of truth, justice, and the 80-10-10 way. How will his life unfold? Which mountain will he next conquer? Where will his heart lead him? Will he find true love? Join Raw Aussie Athlete on his bold, fortuitous journey to unleash passion and purpose upon the universe and beyond. Like, subscribe, visit, add, and follow Raw Aussie Athlete